A little earlier, I spoke to the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Navi Pillay, from Geneva. I asked for her reaction to some of the material we've just seen.
Well, John, I've familiarized myself with that footage. Let me say it accords with what the Commission of Inquiry has produced. Torture in hospitals, particularly the military hospitals. This video is about Homs, but there's also such evidence in hospitals in Hama and Daraa as well. The chaining to the beds, electrocution, stripping of male patients.
But as we speak tonight, the violence continues, the torture continues, the killing continues, and there is actually no sign whatever that the Syrian regime is listening.
I must go along with that, despite 11 months of pressure from the highest level, reports from me, and all this evidence coming from the Commission of Inquiry. There is no sign whatsoever that the Syrian government has stopped the killings, torture, rapes, and so on. And I want to, yes.
On Friday night, I spoke at his hospital bed with Paul Conroy, the Sunday Times photographer who survived the attack in which Marie Colvin died. And he described what he had seen in Homs as effectively extermination of particularly men and boys, but some women too. Bodies that he had seen in the streets in very large numbers. It seems, sitting here talking to you and being able to see the United Nations in action behind you, it may be that there's a great deal of talk. There may have been a great deal of reporting and observation, but action, there appears to be none.
Well, John, that is my call as well. Action can only come up when states act collectively. The Secretary General has been calling upon them repeatedly to act collectively to find a solution, and I've been urging the same.
Well, do you sense that the Russians and the Chinese are slightly moving towards agreeing that something needs to be done?
I have had meetings with the Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia just 3 days ago, and I know that both Russia and China condemn the violence. They accept that there are atrocities committed, and they want to seek ways of a political solution. But I said lives are being lost, and this has been going on for far too long. The evidence you describe and what the journalists described to you are what we found as well. Slaughter of civilians, ordinary people's throat being cut, and just thousands and thousands of people fleeing Homs and other cities for safety. What I want to say is that torture is absolutely prohibited. There are no exceptional circumstances, civil war, terrorism, or anything that justifies the use of torture.
Navi Pillay, the UN Commissioner for Human Rights, talking to me earlier from Geneva. Kathy.